Yo, this is Ali Siddiq, and you watching Get Your Geek On podcast with me, baby.
Everybody, want to welcome you to a very special edition of the Get Your Geek On podcast. This one came together really quick, guys, so I've been hyping this up for the past 2 days, and I am starstruck right now because we have one of my favorite stand-up comedians here with us now, live via Skype. You just saw his Comedy Central special last Friday. It's bigger than these bars. You've seen him on This Is This Is Not Happening, and then you've seen him on Joey Diaz's podcast, Ari Shafir's podcast. You've seen him on the internet. You've seen him. You love him. Here he is, stand-up comedian Ali Siddiq, with us live via Skype right now. Ali, thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
And no problem. The pleasure is all mine, man.
So I gotta ask, first of all, congratulations on the special. It was incredible, man. Truly, truly loved it. So really big ups on that, man. It was great.
Oh man, thank you, man. People keep asking me about the ratings, and I'm like, I don't really know about the ratings. I just know that it got done, it's finished, and I'm pleased about it. I don't care about other people's ratings or what they thought about it. I'm just glad that I got it done.
Man, I gotta tell you, I had that thing on DVD by Saturday morning. I pulled that off my DVR and burned that, and that'll be on repeat forever. But, man, first of all, I just gotta say thank you so much for joining us. I understand you're a very busy man, so we're gonna jump right into things here. Now, Ali, people know you as one of the best up-and-coming stand-up comedians. In fact, you were actually named the winner of Comedy Central's Up Next competition. So what is it like now that this big bump has kind of happened in your career in the past year or so?
It's more work actually. that's the thing. It's like people think, oh, now you made it. Nah, I made more work for myself. That's the thing. The work never stops. Actually, you keep grinding to get to a good position, and then you get in a position. Then they give you more work. They give you another assignment. It's like it's never over. Now more money comes with the work, but it's still more work.
Now, one of the great things I love about your comedy is I've gone deep, man. I've found every album of yours, every bit that I could find, and you're a great storyteller, and I think that's what makes your comedy so great is the way it just seems so natural. I mean, has that always been something you're great, even when you weren't doing comedy? Were you always great at telling stories, or is that something you've kind of developed over time?
Nah, I used to get in trouble a lot, man. So I used to have to come up with something to tell my mother. And the better the story. My mother, I think she knew all the time that it was fictitious, but the fact that it was so compelling that when I was a kid, the fact that the stories were very compelling. My sister, she'd be the one that break my story up because back where I'm from, you couldn't get your report card unless you had all your library books in. Now, seeing that my report card was bad a lot of the time, I always said I had a library book out, and my sister, she would come in and say, that boy ain't been to no library. But my story was very compelling.
Oh, I can imagine, man. And I got to tell you, so you did obviously 2 episodes of This Is Not Happening. We got the Mitchell story, and then, Mexicans Got Boots. And it's absolutely incredible. But when you did those shows, did you think that you were going to be, like, I don't know if you've ever read the YouTube comments on any This Is Not Happening. You're hands down considered the greatest story. You've got some of the most views. And then any other This Is Not Happening on YouTube, everyone always just writes, this is nothing. Check out Ali Siddiq's story. Like, people love what you did on that show. Did you ever think that it was going to take off the way that it did?
Not at all. I was actually very excited about doing Ari's show because it was an actual sit down storytelling show, and I just thought in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is going to be my lane. This is what I do. And he said he wanted a true story. I was like, bam, here we go. And I'm actually on there 3 times. This season, they cut this season in 2 parts.
Okay.
So, my episode appear next year around the same time of February when it came out this year. But this time I did a mushroom story.
Nice.
The first time I did mushrooms by accident, and it was a great story because it was with Ari. Ari was the one that gave me the mushrooms. So this actually. It's on the This Is Not Happening album. We have an album. We put out an album as well that we recorded at Third Man Records. Me, Ari, Bird, Lisa Triger, Sean Patton, Nate Bagarzi, Um, and I didn't, man. I was just going in. I was just so happy to be on a show that was catered towards storytellers, you know, and I was just excited. I was really excited to do the show, and I had no clue that it was going to be. Ari didn't even want me on the show. Eric Abram, you know, he had knew me, and so he convinced Ari, and then my story became one of Ari's favorite stories. So, you know, it's something to be said about just being prepared and good at what you do when it's time. And that was a big thing. That was just a big thing for me. I would have been on 4 seasons if they thought I didn't want to do it the second season. And I didn't know why. I was like, yes I do.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm already counting down the months until I can see you on that next episode. That sounds like an absolute incredible story. But I do have to ask you real quick, going through, deep on the YouTube, I did find a little bit of a video of you with some really long hair. So I gotta tell you, man, do you miss having the locks?
No, man, I don't miss the locks, man. And how the locks went away, because I had locks for a while. And this is what I looked like when I was in prison. I look just like I look just like this.
I was gonna ask
So
that too. I was like, did you have the hair in prison?
no, I didn't have. I look just like this. But I was actually bald, and I didn't even have an edge up. Um, but the hair, I was contemplating cutting it, and I was on the Tom Joyner cruise, and Cheryl Underwood, she told me, she said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a tip, and to catapult you in comedy." I said, "What's that?" She says, "Just know this: comedy is about attraction too, and to be a good comic, every man has to want to be you, and all these women have to want to sleep with you. You have to be appealing, and so you say you look like a Jamaican thug with these locks and whatnot." So I'm contemplating cutting my hair for a couple of weeks, and then this lady named Stacy from Philly, she was doing this girl's hair, and I said, "Yo," and then I was dating Stacy at the time. She said, "Yo, man," I said, "I want to cut my hair." So she just grabbed in the middle, right in the middle, a bunch of my locks and just took some scissors and just cut. She said, "Well, now you got to say, now you got to cut it. Now you got to know this. Stacy was super fine, because if she wasn't, she would have cut my damn hair. I would have killed Stacy. But Stacy was super fine, insane."
That's fucking hilarious, man. Holy shit. Now I gotta ask you, man. I've seen you twice on the Church of What's Happening Now with Joey Diaz, and it seems like you guys, since you both have that prison experience, you guys seem to connect on this weird level, man. And your storytelling together, those are some of the best podcasts I've ever listened to. I mean, did you have fun with Joey? First of all, is he that crazy in person?
Joey is insane, man. It's one of the best. Now I'm gonna say this: any of the Death Squad, I can vouch for. Great interviews, very inviting. Me and Bert are different together because it's very friendly, and he's very comfortable. I'm very comfortable with Bert, but Joey is like two convicts escaped from prison together, and we got guns and drugs and women in the trunk, and we just riding until we get busted. It's like that's how it is being with Joey. Like, and we pillaging and robbing as we trying to get to the border. You know what I'm saying? It's like Joe, and then the Flying Jew, man. He is great, man. Joey's podcast is insane, and it's ironic that it's called the Church, because we are doing nothing but looting on there. I love his podcast, man. It's insane.
Now, I got to tell you right now, the opening line of your podcast with Ari, which first of all is 3 hours plus, I think you need to have made on a t-shirt, because I die laughing. I could tell how bad somebody wants you dead by how many bags of coffee they willing to give me. Like, that line, kills me, dude. I literally had a spit take. I was at McDonald's eating lunch the other day. Listen, I was like, oh, I'll put the Ari podcast on. That line came out. I busted out in the middle of McDonald's. Everyone's looking at me like I'm the crazy guy there. I was slumped over, like gasping for air. That was killing me, man. But the stories that you have, you could literally just do an entire album of storytelling. But you've got 4 albums so far, a half-hour Comedy Central special, the now hour Comedy Central special. What's next? What's for you, Ali? Do you have another album that you're going to be working on at some point? Are you going to be touring? What's next for you?
This is what you called it, man. I recorded an album Tuesday. The album is called "You Don't Know What I'm Going Through." I just wrote a special called Ego, and I'm not giving the rest of the name because I don't want nobody to copy it. And my agent asked me yesterday what special I wanted to start working on, and I said the Ego, and he reminded me. He said, "What about Let Me Tell You a Story?" I said, "Bam, there we go. Let's do it." And so now I'm officially working on the full storytelling album. Let Me Tell You a Story. We 90% done, and he mentioned it to me the other day. So, and I just went in and I went back and listened to what I recorded on it, and I'm gonna add 2 stories on it, and we done. I'm gonna just start prepping it now, getting ready for the next special. Let Me Tell You a Story.
Man, I'm telling you right now, you got to get yourself like an email notification put on your website so people can sign up. I will be the first in line to buy those albums, my friend. And one of the greatest things, I think that you got to get yourself a Patreon too, man. You got a lot of fans like us, man, that are willing to like support you monthly. Get yourself going, whatever you got to do to get yourself like new special stuff. We love you, man. But
something, I got some new stuff that I'm getting ready to do for my fans. I don't even call people my fans. I call them the constituency. So what for my constituents, I got some shirts that say constituent, got some shirts that say my constituency. I'm gonna start sending them out to my people, but just to prep your people on Let Me Tell You a Story. I'm doing 3 of my favorite things that happened to me in prison. I'm doing the prison wedding. I'm doing the bodybuilding contest, and I'm doing Brown and Win, and those are just a prep of some Brown and Win. Brown was this dude that was like 6'8", about 310, and he used to eat this stuff called mackerel. It come in a can.
I heard about this on the podcast. Yeah, the dude would just plop it out and then drink the juice and everything. So nasty. So nasty. And then protein. Like
protein.
Oh, yeah. Man, I love it. I fucking love it. So now, Ali, one of the things that we like to do here, especially with the stand-ups, is instead of being typical and ask you, oh, tell us about your worst set or when you bombed, I want to hear the story of the best set you've ever had.
Best that I ever had. It's been a lot of them, but the best that I ever had, I'm in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. I got to record it, which is perfect. This lady, I'm doing my show, and this lady, she's laughing. I'm talking about hysterically. And I said, ma'am, you're going to have to stop laughing a little bit just to let me do these stories. And she said, well, sir, I'm just trying to have a good time because my dad passed away. And I say, I get it. I said, how long ago did your dad pass away? She said 2 months ago. And I said, cool. But what you still can't do is interrupt everybody. So I'm really in this set, and it's like everything is falling in line because they know that I don't tell slapstick jokes. I actually tell long, intricate stories, and they riding with me, and I'm having a good time. This is the only hiccup is this lady. And so I turn to her, I say, ma'am, let me tell you the type of mental fortitude that you have to have when you're around other people, because everybody's not going through what you're going through. And she's crying. I say, ma'am, you got to stop crying so you can understand. The reason why I'm saying is I've been up here for about 45 minutes. Can we all agree to that? They say, yeah, you've been up about 45 minutes. I say, my father died Wednesday. I say, my father died Wednesday on Valentine's Day. I said, I did 2 shows on Valentine's Day. I flew to DC. I did a show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and now I'm here Sunday, and I'm doing a show for you, and nobody knew anything was wrong with me. None. No person. So then I went on with the show, and then I still did maybe an hour 10, and then the last 10 minutes I brought that story back about my father passing. I said, well, it's like this. I remember I told y'all my father passed on Valentine's Day, which really upsets me because my father knew I didn't like Valentine's Day, so now I got to remember this bullshit ass holiday because he died on it. I said, now the best thing about him dying on Valentine's Day, which always is synonymous, Valentine's Day is synonymous with strawberries. And my daddy loves strawberries. He absolutely loves strawberries. He always ate strawberries. And he called me one time and he said, hey, son. I said, what's up, Pops? He said, I want you to tell them white folks this when you talking to them. I said, what you want me to tell them? Tell them stop acting like they gonna get rid of Mexicans. Like they playing about immigration. I say, why they ain't gonna get rid of Mexicans? Because white folks love strawberries. I said, and what that mean? But they ain't gonna go pick them. Boy, and that's how I ended that show. And I was like, this is one of the best shows I've ever had because you can go in and out. It was perfect for me. I was going in and out of funny and tragedy like I want to, and still got everything and gave everything to the audience that I wanted to.
That's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. And one thing I do want to acknowledge, too, is all the volunteer work you do, man. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, what you do with the alternative education, reaching out for the homeless, everything that you do, on top of being a family man, on top of being an up-and-coming comic, it's truly incredible that you find that many ways to give back. Because for people like us, man, you know, your comedy can pull people out of the darkest days, man. You could be, for me, I can't tell you how many times I've had a shitty day in the past couple months, and I pop on your This Is Not Happening, I pop on your YouTube pieces, any of your 4 albums that I've now bought, and I throw them on repeat, man, and I love it. But I cannot wait to see what you have coming next. But tell us a little bit about your proudest moment so far as a comic before we get you out of here.
My proudest moment as a comic was actually Bill Bellamy, DL, and Earthquake all bigging me up for my special. They were very pleased. And the proudest thing as a actual comic from which was most important to me, this lady, she said she had no clue who I was. She said, but people were telling, hey, you got to see Ali Siddiq special coming out. And then they started running commercials. And I was like, okay, I'm over it. I'm just over it. I'm going to go watch his special, whatever. And then she hit me on Instagram. She said, sir, I had no clue who you were. I watched your special. And all I can say is it lived up to the hype. You are amazing. And when somebody tells you that you lived up to the hype and they didn't know you, that was big for me. That was actually big for me.
Dude, just for myself. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. That was all.
I gotta tell you, man, and not even speaking as a geek or as a podcast host or anything like that. Anybody that knows me more than anything else, my first love is stand-up comedy. I'm 32 years old. I've legit been listening to stand-up comedy since my dad was rocking Bill Cosby himself in the crib. And I gotta tell you, man, I consider myself a bit of a comedy connoisseur, and you are in my top 5 of all time already. And that is anybody that knows me knows that that's like a serious statement to make. But I gotta tell you, man, you can only go up from here. It is absolutely incredible what you've done. Are we ever going to get you out to Boston?
Yes, I want to play Boston. Yo, I have one of if you ask about comedy moments, man, I was at the Wilburg Theater in Boston with me and Bill Bellamy. I had a great time, but one of my fondest moments, because I wear bow ties a lot, and in Boston, for some reason, bow ties are like very, very the thing in
Our
Boston.
co-host wears a bow tie all the time.
So I'm in Boston, and me and one of my close friends, Dev, me and Dev have on bow ties, and we meet these two white guys in this bar, and they say, "You look very dashing, sir." And I turn around, I say, "No, no, 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 sir. Your bow tie is extraordinary." And he said, and everybody did like this. We pulled them apart and say, "No clip on, no clip on." And we took, it's on my Instagram. It should be on my Instagram. We took a picture. It's me, Dad, these two white guys, and we were so happy that we had on bow ties, and everybody's bow tie was a real bow tie. It was insane. And then it's a lot of Eritreans in Boston. I think it was Cape Verdeans or Eritreans. Which one?
Cape Verdeans.
Cape Verdeans. Yeah. I like Boston, man. I've always liked Boston.
Well, I gotta tell you,
NOG and the Bulldogs from Boston.
Man,
I'm from the berry, Roxbury, but not the fruit, y'all. Don't ask me. Don't make me act like where I come from, where because it's brutal. You from Roxbury? Yeah,
Roxbury in the house. Shit, you need to talk to Joey. Joey Diaz is coming out here in September, man. You need to get up on that. He's doing the Wilbur in September.
Oh man, I'll be glad when I'm coming to do the Wilbur.
Dude, if you come to do the Wilbur, I will be the first man in line for VIP seats. I promise you that. The Wilbur is my second home. But, man, I got to tell you, I know your time is precious, so we got to get you out of here, man. This has been an absolute honor for me, man. I've gotten the chance to interview a lot of great people doing this job, and every time I just think it can't get better. And this is going to live for, like, one of the best moments of my life, man, for real. Like, this is absolutely incredible for me.
Man, I thank you so much, brother. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the encouragement. And definitely, man, I'm definitely gonna put this new album out and this new special, brother.
Yes.
And hopefully it's another one you like. See, he keeps dropping them like Gucci Man. He keeps doing it.
So, Ali, just stick with us 1 minute after we close out the show here. But, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast. Make sure you check out Ali's website. We're going to have the links for you below. Check out all 4 of his albums that you can buy on that website. Buy them. They are absolutely incredible. You will not regret them. Check out all of his specials on YouTube. You can get the This Is Not Happenings, great pieces that he's seen from people that are filmed in the styles. Absolutely incredible. More great stuff to come from him. Check out the Comedy Central special. It's bigger than these bars. It was incredible. So that's going to wrap things up. We're going to have all the links for his stuff below. Check out his touring dates if you're lucky enough to see him. I can't wait. Have a good one, guys. This has been Ali Siddiq and Chuck with the Get Your Geek On podcast. That'll cut. And then Ali, man, I cannot thank you enough, dude. That was so huge for me, dude.
Man, thank you very much, man. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
Definitely.
One question that I do have, and we'd ask all the celebrity guests that we have, is there any way that we could pay for like a headshot or an album or something like that to have you sign and send to us? And we'll put it here on the set.
I'll get one and I'll send it. You have my email and everything, and just send me the address and we'll make it happen.
Okay, so I'll just send my address to your agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll get it to you. You don't have to pay for that.
Thank you so much, man. It'll live on this set forever. Dude, this has been one of the best moments of my life, for real. Like, seriously, thank you so much, man.
And thank you, man. And appreciate the guy with the bow tie. Keep bow ties alive.
And there's my co-host, Robert. Just wanted to say hi, Robert. You had him dying in the sound room.
When you said a girl from Philly, everybody got a Philly barber. I'm from Jersey. Everybody got a Philly barber. Everybody got a Philly barber.
No doubt. Man, appreciate you, gentlemen.
Not a problem. Have a great night, man.